What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Make It Custom. I'm Carl Fisher, and today we are working on our profiling machine. We are gonna make an adjustable fence for this so that we can have an adjustable backstop to make different profiles in sheet metal. Have you ever wondered how to make a body line that doesn't exist? You don't have a bead roller for it. You don't wanna make your own bead roll dies to do that. Well, this little machine can do it. It's way less cost than a bead roller, and an infinite amount of possibilities to make cool profiles in sheet metal. That's the whole purpose of us designing it, and now we're making this little add-on for it, as well as using our WAZER Waterjet machine to make a custom set of dies, as well as some that are specifically for the Model A lower bead roll. That I think is gonna help a lot of people because a lot of people restore these cars. And yeah, it's gonna be a fun video. Don't forget to like, click subscribe, hit notifications. Let's do it. All right, so how are we going to do this? Basically, I just want to shout out to one of our Patreon members that he did make one. We were thinking of kind of similar idea, and he was the first one to make one, and we just love the way he did it. So we're going to kind of jump off of that a little bit and build something very similar for this machine. Something simple that will be not very expensive on our website if you already have the machine, or you guys can build it yourself by watching this video. What I would like to do is make a longer bolt here, a longer bolt here, and it will be a piece of flat bar that runs across. That piece of flat bar that runs across will allow us to slide a little backstop that will move in and out from here. Most body lines on panels are near the top or the bottom of the panel, like a door panel, right? A door skin. So like if you're looking at our Model A there, the lower bead roll would easily be able to fit in here, as well as that upper bead roll. I say bead roll, but it's a profile. It wasn't made with a bead roller, so it's not a bead roll. So what we're gonna do is design our little backstop, and then we're gonna design a few different dies that perhaps will work for you guys, perhaps not, but specifically, we're gonna show you how to make a die that is exact to something that exists on your project. For that example, we're gonna use the lower bead on this Model A. So this bead always gets rotted out, and this is like a 1930, 1931 Model A. And so we're gonna make a die specifically for that and run it in that machine using our new fence. That's the goal for the video. We'll see how it goes. But first off, I'm going to just draft out what I think we will need to make that backstop an adjustable piece. And hopefully when it's all done, this is something that we'll have on our website so that you guys can, if you already have that profile machine, you'll be able to get the backstop kit for it. And it just makes everything a lot easier to work on your own vehicle. So I'm gonna grab my computer and start measuring our profiling machine and design our little backstop. Well, Elio's got these pieces cut on our fast cut CNC, and check them out. We've got, this is the bar that's gonna slide on. This is the outside piece. This will get bent up and go onto the back side of that so that it can captivate this flat bar, and it'll slide like that. This is part of the fence. So is this. So basically, this is the base of the fence, like so. Ooh, can you hold that for me? That's the base of the fence, like so. This piece goes like this, like so. Should lock in. Ooh, look at that. And then, yeah, this piece gets bent around, and it should go on this bar. Theoretically, because I drew this in 3D out of my, or I drew it in 2D out of my 3D head, which spatial awareness is not its strong suit. So we're gonna see if this cleans up and all goes together. All right. I don't know if I've got everything I need here, but I'm trying. And maybe we do and maybe we don't, but let's... Am I missing something? I'm missing the arm. What do I do with the arm? It's probably super hot. Okay, there's this arm. This is our deal that's supposed to go there. Ooh. I cut a couple spacers. Let's unbolt this and see what we got here. So I planned it so that you can unbolt this one, and then you unbolt this one. Get that guy out of there. And then we're going to replace it with some 2-inch long bolts. I think they're going to be the right size. Maybe, maybe not. Couple of spacers. So basically, you're going to have that spacer. Pardon me, I got the wrong bolts, but when we manufacture these as a kit, if it all works, they will have the same bolts going through there. Okay, so that goes through. Can reinstall these nuts. Ooh, maybe my spacer could have been a bit longer. I can't tell yet. The spacer size I just kind of guessed, so that might be a little different. So the bolts might need to be a bit longer too. Okay. Oh, obviously that's not going to work. I already see the problem right here. I've got to notch this for the arm, obviously, and I didn't do that. So that is one of the first problems. But as far as this being able to slide all the way back and all the way forward. That proof of concept is proven conceptually. I do believe that I'll have to space this over a little bit, so that just means making slightly longer spacers in here. But travels full length. Okay, once all 4 of these are tight, then we can lock these nuts on. We found with the hammering that happens on this top arm, these lock nuts are necessary, and 4 is actually totally sufficient. We don't need the 6. The bottom doesn't take as much shock load as the top does. So that looks like it's good to go. We can put our rig back in here, our air hammer. And we leave enough space so that we can still slip our sheet in. Should be good there. Tighten up the air hammer clamp. All right, now that's nice and solid. I like that. Let's grab a piece of sheet metal and give this a shot. So I always like to start off with a little bit lighter pressure when I do this. The reason being is that I don't want this thing to hit so hard that it makes a bunch of dents in it all of a sudden, right? So I just turn this down. It actually has a little bit of a regulator right on it. So we're gonna turn it down. We'll try that to begin. Yeah, we'll go up against our fence here. The more even I am, the more even the piece will become. Beautiful. Look at that. What a beautiful piece. Stayed perfectly on its marks. Wow. Like that. Let's try moving the fence a little bit here. We're gonna move the fence back. You know how it started kind of like curving a little bit? That's just because it's basically starting a form on one end while it's still flat there. So it is distorting the panel a little bit. I just kind of reversed it with my knee. I'm just gonna run it in here one more time just to smooth it out. But I think that's all it needs, you know? Yeah, that's awesome. That is too cool. Okay, so I'm gonna smooth out this other one a little bit too. So I'll just bring my fence back to this spot. Okay, so I am careful to choose what part of this car I'm gonna template because this cowl bottom has been replaced. I did that. This is a nice patch that's made by Brookville, but you'll notice, or maybe you can, I'm not sure if you can really see in the camera, but the difference between this bead, like I think the profile is mostly good, but right at the top edge, it's just sort of like, it's kind of shallow here. And this is a factory door skin. Like this door skin was in good enough shape that we did not replace it. So it's actually got more radius here. Like it's a little bit of a bump, like a sharp radius here. It's not a sharp radius here. So that is kind of a difference in bead profile, as well as this quarter. This quarter is a factory quarter. This has the same bead profile as this. It bumps out and then has a shallow sort of curvature. So that is factory. And if we go onto this side, this whole side has been replaced. Like that's an aftermarket quarter also. So this aftermarket quarter has a bit of a larger bump out here than the other side. And this is an aftermarket door skin that kind of has more of a shallow spot here, but they're all different, you know, and that's the same bead profile as the other side on the lower cowl bottom. So I'm not actually sure what is the best way to do this. I think I'm gonna use the factory one just because it's a little bit more pronounced. And I know that a lot of cars are gonna have the aftermarket skins on them, but if I'm making this die, technically, you would be able to correct. So if you were working on a car and you got an aftermarket quarter and an aftermarket door skin and you were making a cowl patch, you could run your door skin and your, you know, all the pieces through this die and it would make them all the same. So I think I'm gonna take my template off of the passenger side original quarter. That's gonna be the idea, because this has that little lip that goes back that would normally tuck under. And just because I made the inner structure, it's just like, it just goes like that, which is kind of good because you don't want it to tuck under right now. That's something that you would do to the original subframe. So I'm going to, I'm gonna make the die for this right here. All right, so basically all I'm trying to do here is just get a good impression of what's going on. So I'm gonna use a little bit of WD-40 as my release agent. I don't want any of this sticking to the actual metal. I want it to pop off once it's dry. I'm just using regular Bondo here. This is just, whatever, lightweight Bondo. You can thin it out with a bit of resin, works really good. I've heard other people do that. But basically, I'm just gonna fill up my little form here and close it up and tape it right to the actual car. So I'll get that in there. Oh, so messy. I probably should have put something down on the floor because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be cleaning the floor after this. But we got to get some right up underneath the bottom there. Looks to be about good enough. Stick this down here to catch anything. But here we go. We will just do that. Kind of squish it right on. Oh, this wasn't my best idea. Probably could have made the form a little better, but okay. I think that's covering it. Now I'm covered in bondo. But if I tape that on there, it should at least get our form here. Okay, well, I think it's pretty much dry, and we'll see if this was successful or not. Oh, look at how easy it came off. Yep, killed it. Look at that. That will get us the information we need. There it is. That actually worked way better than I thought, because I did a very sloppy job, but apparently it's all it needed to be. So, yay for us. Look at that. Look at that radius I was talking about. That radius does not exist here. Cool. That'll be a fun little panel to make. So WD-40 is a release agent. Not too bad. From here, I'm just gonna like grind one of these sides totally flat, so that we can get a really nice trace on it. And yeah, we'll start making the die. Okay, and there it is. Nice little bondo block of our exact, dead, perfect profile of original sheet metal. So that is what I'm going to trace onto a piece of paper and start making our template for the die. Okay, so you've probably seen me use this in the past. Find it really easy to make templates with this. This is not sponsored. This frame is just really nice for making a DXF file of an organic shape, because it already makes it for you basically. So I don't have to go and try and do this myself. So you just gotta be, oops. You don't wanna mess it up, so you might take a couple of times here. So this will actually get the outside, the center, and the inside of that line, which is wild. I might try it one more time. I kind of screwed up on the corner a little bit. And there's a QR code on here. Just use that. And there it is. Exactly to the dimension that it is. And it'll give me an outside, which that outside of the line is actually what was pressed up against our bondo. So that is what I want. So I'm going to use the outline here, and I'm going to save, and then I'm going to send it to myself in the computer, and then I'll be able to modify it into the actual die. Okay, so after we make the die, we just gotta like sand it a little bit. So it barely took any filing. I'm just basically just filing a little bit of a lead in. So like a bit of an angle so that when the sheet metal comes in, it's not marking it up too much. What you do want is a nice flat surface for the two dies to contact the material, because if it's really tight in one spot, it might stretch that area. That's kind of the art of die making. So that's why it's nice to make these on the Waterjet. It's allowed for the thickness of the material. So basically we just have to finish the die. And you can do this by hand. Don't have to have a Waterjet. You can just make these, use a little bit of die chem and a scribe and just spend time making the dies. If you have a Pullmax, that's how you gotta do it too. Now I'll take a bit of sandpaper and I'll do the same thing. Just wanna go over the die with the sandpaper. I mean, you probably don't even have to sand it, really. Like, the nicer you make this, the nicer the contact, like the transfer, the surface transfer will be. So, for example, if I polish this perfectly, it'll transfer the polish onto the material. So if I make this, you know, 120 grit, it'll be like as nice as 120 grit when it's smashing into the aluminum or the into the sheet metal. You want your edges to be nice and sharp where that edge is going to be, because that's going to transfer as well. I'll sand these little lead-ins. So like I said, these dies, if they work, which I know they will, we're going to try them right now. But they will be on the site. They'll be the first ones on the site. They'll be fresh off the Waterjet. Like you'll want to finish them as far as you want to go. But this is the first of our Ford profiles that we're gonna make. So as I come in contact with more cars and more profiles, I will make them and make them available on the site. And then we'll be able to just cut them out. Okay, that one's about done as far as I'm going to take it. Just the 120 grit, making sure this is nice and flat, and a little bit of a smooth lead in, and that's it. You can totally do this with just a file and a grinder and that bondo mold technique. That's how people always do them. You know, or if you so happen to need this one, it'll be on japhandskustoms.com. I'm gonna get the other one done, and then we're gonna give it a shot. All right, so this is the test number 1. I've just got a little bit of a bend on here just to get us started. Something to locate this piece in here. And we're gonna give it a go. Start off with light pressure. I could not be happier with the result. You know, it pinches tight here and here a little bit, so like you could technically work the die if you didn't want it to touch so hard there, but it didn't do anything to the material, so it didn't screw us up at all. I think it's perfect, really. Here's the exciting part. Let's go get our piece of bondo and have a look at how it fits that. All right, there it is. There's our block that we made off of the car. There's the bead that we made off of the die. Boom, check that out. It is, I couldn't be happier with it. It works perfect. The piece did not distort, stayed nice and flat. I would be more than happy, just ecstatic to make any patch panel for the lower end of a Model A using that bead profile. It works, concept works. We're gonna continue to add to the arsenal on the website or of these little profiles. I think it's like just a cheap, easy way that people can make patch panels for their car and have profiling capability. Also stoked on the whole fence deal. Elio did cut out version 2 and has played with all the offsets. So basically what that means is that this fits together tab and slot really easy. Okay, so each piece is just awesome. Like it just fits right in. The next piece, it's got a little hole right there. It's got the tabs there. It fits on, helps keep everything nice and square so that that is the fence. This little piece has some bend lines in it. That captivates our 1/4-inch slider at the back. This is what bolts onto the side of the machine, allows you to slide. This piece will bend all the way around. This is a like add-on kit for our profiler hammer that you saw me use. And these extra holes here, picture us bolting in just little tubes here so that you can do curved profiling as well with this fence. So nice and easy little thing that you can add onto your machine to do a bit better profiling. I just want to show you guys the actual car, and we'll finish with this. So this is original metal. That's where we got this from. You know, this is an original door, so that's going to fit there as well. This is actually not original, and look at the difference. So there's a big gap right here in the front. I don't know if you can see that very well.
Yeah, you can just see it.
You can see it? Okay, so that's the difference here. And our piece is just like original profile. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching Make It Kustom, everybody. We're having a lot of fun out here. Hope that you're having a lot of fun at home too, working on your projects. And we love making tools for you and giving you guys more inexpensive ways and smaller tools so that at home you can do this stuff, restore old cars and have fun with your buddies. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. See you later.